Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the home studio today on this, the 7th day of March in the year 2023. Sure hope you're enjoying your Tuesday, no matter where you are in the country. I'm home today. I haven't been back to the office yet, except for a brief visit last week, but I will be returning to the office, God willing, tomorrow morning for the first time in 2 weeks. And as you do every Tuesday afternoon, I'm very, very grateful that you allow me to bring the broadcast into your homes. And I hope you'll bear with me if I mix up some words here or there. It's been happening a little bit lately. And I think most of you know that for a couple of days last week, I was hospitalized. And I don't want to milk this at all. And I certainly don't want to make an excuse, but the United Irish Association of West Hudson's St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming up on Sunday, and we ran a story this week which honored the three marshals, the Grand Marshal Jimmy Lawless, and then the Deputy Grand Marshals Mary Beth Kennedy and Lisa Ann Shalago. And two of the three biographies that we got were completely accurate. The third one for Lisa Shalago, unfortunately, was not as accurate. Her name was misspelled. The name of two of her children was misspelled, and some instances of her biography were left out. But I need to just make it pretty clear this happens for a reason when stuff like this happens. There is a reason behind it, and it's pretty simple, and it's this. For the last 20 years or so, I would say, at least, I haven't received a press release of any kind from the United Irish Association. And as such, it was Sunday, and I was thinking about the date and thinking about where we were, that the parade was coming up, and this was the last edition of the newspaper before the parade, which came out today, which most of you have probably seen already. And at that point, we still hadn't received anything. So in a pinch, I was able to gather from a friend, a very good friend, two of the bios, and the third one was inaccurate. And if the United Irish had, as is the case with the Irish Association of Nutley, sent out press releases to us with the names of the people who were being honored, this probably wouldn't have been an issue. Unfortunately, it happens. And I feel terrible that this happened to Lisa Shalago, because if there is one person in this world who I would not want to see this happen to, it is Lisa Shalago. I have known Lisa since I first met Lisa in 1998, and this was when I was running for councilman. And at the time, I was a registered Republican. She wasn't. But she put a sign up for me because she knew somebody who we knew in common, Nancy Ware. And she helped me during my campaign, even though at the time I was an absolute unknown and nobody. And for her to have to pick up the paper on a Monday night and see her name spelled wrong, I should have known better. I really should have. I know how to spell Shalago. I've been spelling it for 22 years, longer. But I didn't even realize it because of the state of mind that I was in over the last couple of days. And I feel horrible about this. And my intention is to make this up to her and to everybody else in the United Irish when we get to recap the parade this weekend. And look, I don't know who is in charge at the United Irish anymore. I really don't, but I wish somebody at the United Irish would help us by sending the bios every year. The truth of the matter is, I didn't even know who to call. And if I had, I probably would have been calling left and right, saying, hey, do you have a bio here? Do you have a bio here? And I just felt awful about that and what happened to Lisa. So, Lisa, I know you happen to be watching right now. I feel horrible that that this happened. I know how to spell your name. I really do. And I just feel horrible that this happened. But we will make it right. We always will. We would never, ever want to intentionally slight you. This is your day. You've waited years for this. And then something like this happens. So I want you to know how heartily sorry I am that this happened. And we will find a way to make it right. But please, somebody in the United Irish, please, somebody in the future, communicate with us. We can't reach out to everybody. I wish we had the ability and the manpower to do that. We just can't, because we cover 7, 8 towns. And if we had the ability to reach out to everyone, we would. But we need some kind of help every year from the committee. And I know somebody's out there, because I know the bios were done that just didn't get into the right hands. So, Lisa, thank you for understanding. I'm sorry that it happened, but we will make this right for you next week. I promise you that. We would never, ever intentionally do this. And it was just a confluence of horrible timing, me being a dope, and you name it. So that's where it stands. And Lisa, thank you for being such a wonderful human being, because I want to tell you, folks, if you don't know Lisa, you should. She's been involved with the PTA. She was a member of the Board of Education. She's got a son who is a firefighter and a teacher, and her daughters are very, very, very well educated. She has a wonderful family. She is involved in everything else outside of the Board of Education. And she's done so much over the years. She works at a chiropractor's office. She works in the Board of Education office now. And all I know is that whenever she needed anything from me, she did it. And you're going to find that she is so deserving of this honor on St. Patrick's Day. So I'm looking forward to seeing her, Mary Beth, and Jimmy on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon at the parade this weekend. So we'll look forward to that. And next week we will have a nice recap of the parade. Now, as you do every week, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you the week's news. And before I get to a lot of the news, I want to bring something to your attention, because I sort of brought this up the other day, but as another strike against me, I had the wrong date because I was having trouble reading. And I didn't realize it until the next day when Ricky Pop told me, that's great that you did a video, Kevin, but unfortunately it is on the 20th of April, not the 21st. So I'll chalk that up to me thinking, I didn't think there would be a bourbon and cigar event on 420, but there really is. So somebody has a very good sense of humor, Rick Poplawski. Now, it's a fundraiser for the Tour de Force and the Carney PBA number 21. It's a cigar and bourbon night fundraiser, April the 20th. It lasts from 5 until 10:30 at Casa de Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge in Whippany on Route 10 East. The cost is $150 per person, includes buffet food, 3 1-ounce bourbon pours, a cigar, and a cutter at entry, a 50-50 raffle. And because it is a PBA event, I'm sure you're going to find there'll be more than just what's been listed. The price, $150, goes 100% to the PBA and to the Tour de Force, because the Tour de Force, of course, is a run through the Northeast every year that benefits those who have given their lives in the line of duty as police officers. So every penny that is raised in this fundraiser will go to the Tour de Force. And Officer Rich Poplawski is coordinating this year through the PBA. You can find any PBA member to buy tickets to the event, or you can send an email to Rick to rpoplawskijr@carneynjpd.org. That's rpoplawskijr@carneynjpd.org. It is well worth the $150 price that you're getting, because not only do you get a fun Thursday night out, you also support one of the greatest causes in the state of New Jersey in the Tour de Force. So I hope those of you who are out there watching this will consider it. And if you are not the type of person who likes cigars or bourbon necessarily, you can also make a donation to the Kearney PBA as well. They accept Venmo as payment. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you go to the fundraiser, so feel free to make a donation to the PBA Venmo on your phone, and it again will all go to the PBA/Tour de Force. So thank you to Rick for putting this together. It's going to be a great event, and I hope it turns out very, very enjoyable. Now, this week's front page is a very special front page because coming up on the 26th of March, Vinnie Doffont, the late firefighter from the Harrison Fire Department, they'll be having a 5K walk/run in Vinnie's memory. Vinnie died last year, tragically, at a very, very young age, in his 30s. And I know from having a conversation with the chief in Harrison and several other people that Vinnie was just a very, very special human being. And he was taken away way, way too soon. And so the chief, along with one of his members and Councilwoman Ellen Mendoza, thought it would be a good idea to have a 5K fundraiser in Vinnie's memory, and that's exactly what they're going to do. And it's on the 26th of March, starts at around 9 a.m., and it will basically make its way through West Hudson Park into different parts of Harrison. It will eventually pass by Harrison Fire Headquarters, which is a wonderful tribute to Vinnie, and end its way back at the start line in West Hudson Park. Every penny of the proceeds will go to Vinnie's widow and his 2 children who survive. And you can't ask for more than that. So the information about the 5K run will be or is already available at theobserver.com. There's a link to click to register. You don't have to run, although it is a timed race. You can walk the course if you wish. It was specifically designed with a 5K in mind, but you don't have to necessarily run it. If you're not a competitive racer, if you're a little out of shape like yours truly or anything of that nature, you can walk the course as well. But all the donations will go to the Doffont family. So I hope you'll consider it. Chief Henry Richard really did a phenomenal job coordinating this with his committee, and I think it's going to be a wonderful day when all is said and done, all in memory of a wonderful human being who lost his life at a way, way, way too young age. So if you haven't seen it in print, even if you have seen it in print, I might suggest you go to theobserver.com because you will find the link to register for the 4K right there on that page. So check that out, and congratulations to everybody for putting together what I believe will be a wonderful, wonderful day in the history of Harrison, not just that week, but in Harrison of all time. So well done to the chief and to Councilwoman Mendoza and everybody else involved. Now, did you know that for the first time in history, a home in the town of Kearney sold for $1 million plus? It was $1.12 million at 56 Stewart Avenue. It was an old house. This is the quick backstory. There was an old house on the property. It sold for a couple $100,000. Bobby Seowitz sold the house, Mid Realty. And eventually, when the house was sold, it was knocked down completely and rebuilt. And rebuilt was it ever. It's a gorgeous house. You see it in the picture right here on the left. It's a 2-family, I believe, or 3-family. And Bobby Seowitz sold the house via Mid Realty for $1,120,000, the highest price for a piece of residential real estate in the history of the town of Kearney. So we give a great commendation to Bobby, to Jarlin Hyde, to everybody at Mid Realty for selling this at such an unbelievable price. But it really is an indication of how much the real estate costs are going up in the town of Kearney. Now, why is this happening? Jarlin seems to think it's because that there are people in New York, Hoboken, and Jersey City who are gravitating west and away from the city, but into a place like Kearney, where you have a city and an suburban type of setting. You are in a city, no doubt, but you also have your more rural type neighborhoods like you will see here. Now, that is basically the way it's been going for, oh, Jesus, before COVID, too. But, Jarlin's been doing this for the last 15 plus years with selling without actually having an office. She's got an office, but it's a virtual office. But people are coming west. And that is probably the biggest reason why, at this point in time, there are so many who are at this point, and why the cost is so as high as it is. But it's a thing of prestige when you think about it. $1.12 million for a home in the town of Kearney. I don't know about you, but I don't think I ever could have imagined ever paying that price. But that's where it is right now, and it's a lot to do with the gravitation to the west. On Sunday, and in addition to it being the parade, it is also time for the clocks to move forward. Daylight saving time, so that means you lose an hour of sleep. At 2 o'clock, it becomes 3 o'clock. We have been editorializing this with Lisa for years, that we hope and pray that eventually this becomes a permanent change. The United States Senate has already passed a bill to make it permanent, but what a shock. The House of Representatives has been dragging its feet and has not done its part. President Joe Biden has already said that he will sign the bill into law if he gets it to his desk, but until the House of Representatives gets it to his desk, nothing can be done. So we hope that the people like Representative Rob Menendez and Bill Pascrell, our friend, and other members of the United States Congress do the right thing and just do away with this silly practice of changing the time twice a year. Wouldn't it be nice if it was brighter in the daytime and not 4:30 darkness in the third week of December? It's always so depressing. And there's also that seasonal affective disorder that you've heard about and you hear about so often. It's just a pain in the butt. So let's hope that at some point the Congress does the right thing. The Senate's already done their part, but I wouldn't exactly hold my breath on this one. This is a great story. Jimmy Mullen, third consecutive state wrestling championship. Jimmy is a great young man. I've met him a couple of times, and I know Stevie Nash would attest to his greatness. Third wrestling championship in 3 years. What more could you ask for? This kid is something very special. And Jason Bernstein has a story recapping his third championship, and we congratulate Jimmy. I don't know if he's going to be in the parade this year. He was last year, but if he is, make sure you give him all the kudos he deserves, because he is a tremendous athlete and a better kid at that. Ed DeFazio is the former prosecutor in Hudson County, and now he is a member of the Hudson County Community College Board of Trustees. So we congratulate Ed on that. Ed was always great to us when he was at the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. Was always transparent and willing to take our phone calls. So we congratulate him. Chris Reber appointed him to the Hudson County Community College Board of Trustees last week, and he's already been sworn in. And I have a funny feeling he's going to make those meetings a lot more enjoyable, because he is a character, to say the least. As we do every week, there are 2 pages of classified. So if you have a place to rent, if you have a job you're looking for, there's quite a few job opportunities available right now in the area. Make sure to check those classifieds out. If you can't get the paper, you can find them at theobserver.com and then click on classifieds, and you'll be able to see all the things that we have available. There's a lot of services offered, so make sure you check those out as well. How about that? Yeah. There's a lot going on today. Tried to put as much of it in as possible, but hope you're able to check those out. And I hope that everybody will come out for the parade. I think it's supposed to be about 50 on Sunday, so the weather should cooperate. Let's hope it stays that way. I know last year it was a really, really bitter cold day for the West Hudson St. Patrick's Day Parade, but it should be very, very nice this year. So come on out, celebrate it, have a good time, and enjoy what should be a very, very enjoyable parade. And one last time, again, before I go, don't forget, if you are interested in this, the Tour de Force cigar and bourbon night fundraiser again is April the 20th. There's a little irony in that, 420 for a cigar party and fundraiser. It's 5 to 10:30 p.m. at Casa de Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge, 301 Route 10 East in Whippany, for $150 per person. And don't forget, if you don't have the ability to pay by saying Rick Poplawski, you're a member of the PBA, you can also send those donations by Venmo. That's going to do it for this edition of The Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. Thank you to Lisa Shalago. I appreciate everything. To Lori Bradow, who also popped by as well. And to Manny Ventoso. I'm sorry, Manny. I don't know how it didn't scroll. And Linda Dalzel Guzajeski, who always comes by, and Melanie Ryan as well, who popped over. So don't forget, we thank them as well. And we hope to see you back here maybe 1 week from today, but if not, a little bit sooner if any type of breaking news happens. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, it's Kevin Canessa signing off for now. And we hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your Tuesday.